Hi, sis. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So this farmer is not resting. I don't know. Somebody should take his camera away from him because, like, he is constituting nuisance. Yeah, that's how I saw it. This man said he did not regret voting for who? For Donald Trump. Now he is calling for his impeachment. Which one am I going to take? That you are regretting or you are not regretting? Because if you are not regretting, you absolutely will relax and continue with his tenure. Allow him to do his job as the person you voted for. Now he mentioned that he is educated, but he is not politically educated, and also he did not see the project 2025. See, this is not funny, but I don't know why I am laughing at him because very contradicting human being. Man, I understand that you were educated. With your education, you couldn't even vote right to know who is capable of doing the job, especially you that had a farm. Now you all are losing completely because they really do not understand the weight of what they did. Now they do not have people to farm for them, and also they do not have money to put in crops. And now people will be starving. Why? Because they messed up. Black people, especially the ones that were not even farmers, still voted for their own interest and they went to vote against their own interest and they are here screaming at us for what? Let's get into this video.
I'm tired of beating around the bush. Everybody keeps asking me, do you regret your vote? I do not regret my vote. Everybody keeps asking me, well, how are you going to vote in the next election? I don't think I'm going to vote. And I've always been somebody to believe if you don't vote, you can't bitch. But at this point, I don't see a purpose of even wasting my time voting. Politicians on both sides failed me. The Democrats and the Republicans failed the American people. They fail the American people every single year. And let me tell you why. I'll start with the left. Joe Biden was mentally incapable to run the country from 2020 to 2024. And the Democrats knew it because they didn't put him up for re-election. They didn't put him up for re-election because they knew that he was incapable to run. And they knew, everybody that voted Democrat knew that he was incapable to run the country. Nobody from the Democratic Party had the integrity to stand up and say that the guy that I put into office is not capable of running this country. And who out of anybody would be the worst person to put in the position to get on the 2024 ballot? Kamala Harris, the one that sat right next to him, right behind him, that knew he was mentally incapable of running the country, but still let it happen without saying anything. If the Democratic Party would have picked anybody other than Harris, they probably would have won. And it's not because she's a black female. That's the worst cop-out I've ever heard in my entire life. The majority of Americans are not racist. They're not sexist. Maybe a very few amount of them are. The American people, the independent voter, didn't pick her because she was tied to the Biden administration. She sat back and she couldn't call out her own party. So the independent voter, like myself, seen that. They seen in 2016 to 2020, the Democratic Party tried impeaching Trump the entire time. And you want to know why Donald Trump won the 2016 presidency? Because he wasn't a politician. It was a fresh light into politics whenever people like me, the independent voter that hates politics, seen somebody that wasn't a career politician going in and trying to change the system. And that's what everybody voted for. The American people wanted the system to be broke up. They wanted the two-party system to be broke up. We were hoping that Donald Trump was the person to do that. And then it turns out that from 2016 to 2020, he wasn't that person. He turned into a damn politician just like the rest of them. But when 2024 rolled around, we knew that the Democrats in 2016 to 2020, they fought so hard to impeach this guy that wasn't a politician. And everybody thought that they're trying to impeach him because he's not a politician. He's not one of them, so they're fighting against him as hard as they can. But then when it came time to impeach their own people, they didn't say nothing. They lost all integrity. All respect for the Democratic Party was lost. So in 2024, whenever the ballot came out, everybody went back to Donald Trump because everybody figured that the Democratic Party didn't have the integrity to stand up and do what they've been preaching from 2016 to 2020 because they let it slide by from 2020 to 2024. Now in 2024, Donald Trump is back in office and what he is doing is illegal. And you guys think that I'm uneducated because I voted for Donald Trump or that I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, but I'm a very educated person. I did really well in government classes. I did very well in American history. I know a lot about history. I know a lot about how the judicial system works, how the legislative branch works, how the executive branch works. I understand how all of that works. Just because I'm out here in the middle of nowhere doesn't mean I'm uneducated. What Donald Trump is doing is illegal, and a federal court had said it's illegal. And he's still doing it. He's not backing down. Therefore, it is impeachable. Because if he's not listening to the judicial system that checks and balances out the executive branch, he is to be impeached. The same way Biden was to be impeached whenever he was incapable of running the country, but the Democrats wouldn't stand up and say he's impeachable now. I'm calling on all the Republican congressmen and women to stand up and say, this guy is acting above the law and he needs to be impeached. I expect both parties to work for the American people and not for their own party. I may not be educated in foreign policy. I may not be educated in Project 2025. But it doesn't matter because I, the American independent voter, make up the majority of the country. And we are not educated on politics, and we don't want to be educated on politics. All we want is we want our government, our political system to take care of us, and our political system has failed us on both sides. And I don't know what the answer is because I can't vote Democrat because they don't have the integrity to impeach their own people. And I can't vote Republican because they don't have the integrity to impeach their own people. But both sides want to impeach the other side. And what's going on is it's a big smoke and mirrors, just distraction of what's actually going on. It's putting the left against the right. And that's the problem. I, as an independent voter, got on TikTok and I said, what the government is doing is illegal. What Donald Trump is doing is illegal. And I was standing with the Democrat side. But the problem is the left was so loud, they wanted to spit in my face and say, this is your fault. Whenever I wasn't talking to the Democratic Party, I was talking to the Republican voters. I was talking to the Republican administration that says, what this guy is doing is not legal. I was reaching out to the right side, the right voters, and saying that you guys need to check this guy. The problem is the left is so hateful and the right is so hateful that they can't come together in the middle and agree whenever something is wrong. And the politicians make it that way. The politicians make it to where we're fighting each other. We have infighting to where we can't solve problems. And they know while the left is fighting, while the right is fighting, they can do whatever they want in the White House. They're up there trading stocks, doing insider trading and lining their pockets. Tell me how every politician goes in with a certain net worth. They make $200,000 a year, but somehow their net worth grows by millions every year. How does that work? It cannot work like that. They have to be benefiting financially somehow, and they're owned by the people that put money towards their campaigns. Both sides, they both do it. So what I'm asking for you guys, the left and the right, is put your differences aside and realize that politicians do not have your best interest. They do not. Either side, the Democrat or the Republican, they do not have your best interest. And I don't know what the solution is here. I don't know how to get the right people into office to make these decisions that actually benefit the people. Because the problem is nobody's going to vote for somebody if they're not on TV. And who puts people on TV? The people with money. This whole system has failed us, and I'm trying to take the left and the right and unify us and stop the arguing, stop the bickering, and have these conversations to where we can come together in the middle and fix this fucked up system and leave it better for our children. So I'm asking you, leave the MAGA shit behind, leave the libtard shit behind, and talk to the fucking people you don't agree with and find out what you agree on and go from there. We need to get rid of these career politicians and put people in there like me and like you that have these conversations that want to make a change. Everybody keeps asking me, do you regret your vote? I do not regret my vote.
Let me make sure I understand correctly, because I've seen you all over this all over these TikTok streets complaining about losing your farm. So let me go ahead and give a brief recap and try to understand. You selfishly, stupidly, ignorantly vote for your own best interests and no one else's, because you didn't give two fucks about anybody else but Skylar. You thought you were making America great again. You did. Not me, you. So you vote for Donald Trump. And he wins. Skylar wins. Yay! And then, you, a farm owner who gets help and assistance from the federal government in the form of loans and whatever, You, you. Then in turn, find out that the guy you voted for, selfishly, Skylar, I might add, the guy you voted for, then cuts the aid and the programs and the department you depend on. You are screaming in video after video after video after video after video how I might lose my farm. I might lose my farm. I stupidly, your words, not mine, got in bed with the government, and now I might lose my farm. You weren't going to lose your farm, I don't know, a year ago. You weren't. But now you're going to lose your farm. And you have the audacity, the gall, to stand in front of a camera with a microphone attached, and even one of the cool lights so everybody can see your face, and say, everybody keeps asking me, so let me stop beating around the bush. I do not regret my vote for Donald Trump. And you wonder why you're being ridiculed every place that your videos show. You wonder why people are ridiculing you, while they're in your comment section offering concepts of tots and shares. You said it yourself. Well, I'm not a smart man. I don't listen to the mainstream media. Do you listen to your own interests? You have a farm that is getting subsidies from the federal government. Did it ever occur to you that you might want to keep those going as opposed to cutting off your entire face to spite your face? Did it ever occur to you? And you have the nerve to stand in front of a camera and say, I don't regret my vote. You are one of the uneducated masses. You did something selfishly, and then it came back to bite you and take all of your booty cheeks. It didn't bite you in the ass. It took your whole ass. You are now sitting on pelvic bone. Skylar, I want you to truly understand something, okay? I want you to truly understand something. Whatever it was that convinced you to walk your silly ass into a voting booth and vote for the man that is now threatening to take away your livelihood, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Because you didn't just screw yourself, Skylar. I'm going to get deep on you. You screwed your family. You did. You screwed your own family. You screwed the families of several other farmers. Did that ever occur to you? Did that ever occur to you? You screwed the families that depend on the products that are grown on farms. You screwed every family around the world, all the people around the world who get food from our farmers. You did that. I didn't. I voted to help you keep your farm. Because I know what you want to say. Well, he's got black fingernails. I don't know. I voted to save your farm. I did. You voted against me. Make that make sense. I'm not a farmer. But I voted to make sure that people like yourself can actually make a living and feed your family with your farm. You said, nah, I really don't like this farm. I don't like the illegals. You did that. And you have the nerve to sit up here and say this? Skylar, you admitted yourself you're not an educated man. You admitted that. Maybe you should have been. In this regard, maybe you should have been. Because by your selfish, silly, stupid, self-centered vote, the ripple effects are you are going to lose your farm. You're going to petition your government. You're going to beg Daddy Trump, I guess is what you guys call him, to help you. And he's not. He's not. You rooted for Elon to cut government waste. You just didn't realize it would be some of your government waste. You can stand there and you can be arrogant. You can stand there and pretend like this doesn't hurt, but it does. And I know it does. I can see it in your eyes, man. So my advice to you would be this. Maybe be humble. Admit you were stupidly wrong and try to mitigate the problem. Or not. I mean, do you, dog?
This message is for Skylar, the Missouri farmer. You know, I did see your video where you said you don't regret voting for Trump, but you think he should be impeached. Well, that just shows your ignorance. The Republican Party in Congress and in the Senate could not even impeach this motherfucker for starting a riot and an insurrection and shitting all over the Capitol. And you think that these Republicans who are about to pass a $4.7 trillion tax cut for the wealthy gives one motherfucking shit that you're going to lose your farm? You think they care? They don't care if you're white, because that's why you voted, your racism. You guys do not understand that they don't give a shit about you, whether you're white, purple, green, pink, or yellow, as long as the billionaires get more money. So, Skylar, I would tell you to stay off of TikTok, because you obviously have not been watching what has been going on in the country. If they could not impeach that motherfucker back in 2020, they could not even get 60 votes in the Senate. And that was a riot. People died. And you think they're going to impeach him so that you can get money? Well, I can sell you the Brooklyn Bridge.
In honor of all these Trump-supporting farmers voting for their farms to go out of business, I want you to look at the person next to you and say, "Oh no, my cabbages!" Y'all know that from Avatar. My cabbages! Woo! Listen, I know when they say you dumber than a bale of hay, I didn't know they meant the people baling the hay. Trump got you farmers real bad. Real bad. You looked at the man that fucked you over in his first term and you're like, Daddy's got my back. Woo! Y'all think I should go buy a farm? They're going to be real cheap coming up. Woo! I think this shit is clearing my skin up, girl. This is good for my health. Oh, your grandma's going to get deported because you voted for Trump? Sounds like your grandma wasn't making America great. Oh, you're going to lose your farm because you voted for Trump? Sounds like your farm wasn't making America great. Oh, you're going to lose your rights because you voted for Trump? Sounds like your rights weren't making America great. You're losing your health care because you voted for Trump? Sounds like you being healthy isn't making America great. Your wife divorced you because you voted for Trump? Sounds like that marriage wasn't making America great. Like, come on, Trump supporters. Y'all got to stop being so selfish. You have to start losing things. Don't you understand that's going to make America great? You're not willing to sacrifice for Daddy Trump? Sounds like all that suffering that you're going through, all the suffering that you're about to go through, that's making America great. And who are we as the Democrats to stop you from all that greatness?
Now, see, this can't be right because that contract I've had for like that's how I built this family farm.
Yes, the Inflation Reduction Act is what
Yeah,
Biden signed into place.
that wasn't Biden. Trump's putting that into place. Okay, so
No,
but
sir, it
I
wasn't.
think there's just been a misunderstanding down at your office that that's supposed to only hit colored folk.
I see.
Yeah, that's
So
not
this is all
supposed
I
to.
got from this video. This is example of tell me you are ignorant without telling me you are ignorant. I mean, this is the video says it all. He is educated, and at the same time, he is not politically educated. Which one am I supposed to take at this point in time? And he said, I wasn't calling for Democrats. I was calling for the Republicans to help me look for a, I mean, speak like where is your son? You say you do not have regret, right? So why are you all over trying to get our attention or trying to tell us, man, the whole thing is just a mess. And if you are not intelligent enough to have this conversation, you better go sit inside because as it stands, you are not fit to have a good conversation. Now you saw two people, right? Two candidates that came up for election, right? To you, you said Joe Biden wasn't competent or he wasn't good enough for the job. And then the person coming in for did Joe Biden not say that he is not fit enough to continue and then moved over to Kamala Harris. So to him, he is saying that it wasn't because Kamala Harris is a black woman, trying to tell me that it was because she's a black woman. Like, how do I let a black woman become the president? So I would rather vote for my own kind and then face it squarely. And then your own kind that you voted is facing you. I mean, you are not facing, he is facing you squarely. I love stories like this. I never knew the leopard would eat my face. The leopard is already doing his job, and the leopard is doing the job amazingly well. I never knew, after the election, I never knew that the result of this election and this inauguration was going to hit immediately. I love the fact that it is hitting them real home. Now, who is calling for impeachment? Who are you calling? Like, you heard what the other beautiful Jamaican American woman said, that even in 20 what, that they couldn't even get the 6 seat, So how do you think that somebody that they could not impeach when, that they will impeach him now? I mean, come on. Come on. You know, Sincerely speaking, I am really hoping that that really happens. But this one is actually out here talking about the impeachment. Why? Because he has lost his farm. And he also does not have the migrants, especially the Latinos, to come and work on his farm. So how is this man going to survive? That is why he is running around and looking for a way to see, man, drop that camera, drop all that, and just go inside. You saw two people that came out. One was ready. She wasn't going to deport people because she that was not her policy. She wasn't going to take away your farm. She also wasn't going to make life hard for you. You did not vote for her. Now you are trying to tell me that the Democrat, I understand Democrat is a party, but the candidate that the Democrat brought out, was she not qualified enough or was she not fit also enough to handle the position? But your racist will not let you see clearly what you were voting for. Now let me tell you something. One thing, the problem with human beings are write an instruction on a paper, right? Leave it and see who reads it and who doesn't read it. You were voting with every. See, one thing I will tell everybody is that Donald Trump was not. He never hid his agenda and his intentions, right? During the period he was campaigning, he made it known, but you all were blind because you also Kamala Harris to why she is not fit enough. So that man was very vocal about his plans for you all, but you all were too I think I should say too blind in your ears, right? Sarcasm, right? To know what the man was talking about. Now you are looking for whom to impeach him. I don't know how that is going to work in at this point in time. I know it's a lot of people's prayers, but at this particular point in time, I don't know, right? So you are going to do with what you have, right? So I hope you are having a good time in that farm. You have Oh, McDonald had it from E-I-E-I-O. I don't know why this is funny, but this man is a gaslighter. For him to also a manipulator, that's what he is. For him to come out dressed the way he is dressed to tell us that he did not regret voting for Trump, but he is looking for a way, right, to bring you people or to let you people see how they can impeach him. Why? Because he needs his farm. This man is gonna go hungry, like real hungry. I mean, I wish them luck, and I'm praying for anyone. The only people I am praying for this time around are my people because I want them safe and sound. But the rest, I'll see you all when you see. I mean, like, bye for now.